Jin BTS is worried. Jungkook just recovered, forced to undergo super extreme military training in winter. Jungkook BTS has just gone through a recovery period after suffering from a severe case of food poisoning. His body has not fully recovered, his strength has not returned to normal, and his condition still requires time to stabilize completely. However, without adequate recovery time, he had to immediately face one of the toughest challenges in his military service: survival training in extreme winter conditions. Does it make sense for someone who has just recovered from an illness to be forced into intense training in freezing temperatures? What is Jungkook's current condition? And why are Jin, V, and Jimin reportedly very worried? According to circulating reports, Jungkook suffered from severe dehydration due to the food poisoning he experienced. For several days, he lost his appetite and suffered from severe dizziness. However, despite still being in the recovery stage, the strict military system did not provide much leniency. Jungkook still had to follow the training schedule like any other soldier, including extreme winter training, which is known as one of the toughest phases in South Korea's military service. This training is not just about running or doing push-ups. Soldiers are required to survive in temperatures that can drop below 0 degrees Celsius, crawl through thick snow, carry heavy gear, and even engage in battle simulations under extreme weather conditions. Even for those in perfect health, this training is extremely exhausting and can be a test of both physical and mental endurance. Jungkook, who had only recently recovered from his illness, began showing signs of extreme fatigue from the first day of training. Some soldiers who participated in the session reported that he appeared slower than usual, shivering frequently, and occasionally losing his balance. His weakened body was clearly not ready for such intense pressure, but as a disciplined soldier, he tried his best to endure. This situation immediately caught the attention of BTS members, who were still able to follow Jungkook's updates from afar. Jin, who is also currently serving in the military and has more experience with the system, was reportedly very concerned about his youngest brother's condition. He understands how tough military training is, especially in extreme winter conditions, and believes that Jungkook should have been given more time to recover. Meanwhile, V and Jimin were also said to be closely monitoring Jungkook's situation and were extremely anxious. Reports claim that they were trying to find ways to ensure that Jungkook was not pushed beyond his physical limits. A source close to BTS mentioned that Jimin even tried to find out if there was any possibility for Jungkook to be exempted from the training. Unfortunately, military rules are not easily bent. The discipline and equal treatment of all soldiers make it nearly impossible to obtain an exemption. Jungkook, known for his strong mentality and reluctance to show weakness, continued to push himself to complete every training session, even as his body visibly weakened. At a critical moment, Jungkook was reportedly on the verge of collapsing while performing a crawling exercise in the snow while carrying heavy gear. His breathing became increasingly labored, his face turned pale, and he nearly lost his balance before another soldier helped him stay upright. This incident further fueled concerns, not only from BTS members but also from fans, who began voicing their concerns on social media. The hashtag #ProtectJungkook even trended, with many fans demanding that Jungkook receive proper medical attention. They questioned why someone who had just recovered from an illness was forced into such grueling training without any exceptions. So far, there has been no official statement from the military regarding whether Jungkook will receive special medical attention or at least some relief from the training. However, pressure from fans and concern from BTS members might have an impact. So, what will happen to Jungkook next? Will he be able to endure and complete this extreme military training, or will his condition worsen? Will the military finally take action before something more serious happens? All eyes are now on the latest updates regarding the Golden Magne's condition, as he faces one of the toughest trials of his life. Jungkook BTS forced to undergo extreme military training after illness. Fact or media sensation? News about Jungkook BTS being forced to undergo extreme military training in the freezing winter, despite just recovering from food poisoning, has become a hot topic that has shaken his fans. Many are concerned and outraged, while others question whether this news is actually true or just an exaggerated narrative pushed by the media. But how accurate is this information? Is Jungkook really in a worrying condition? Does the military not have strict health protocols to prevent risks for soldiers who have just recovered? Or is this merely a sensationalized story designed to attract public attention? Fact or exaggerated news? Before we blindly believe the circulating news, it's best to analyze the situation critically. South Korea is known for its strict and disciplined mandatory military service system. However, the military also has clear health standards for all its soldiers. A soldier who is not fully recovered would typically be granted an exemption from intense training or at least receive additional medical attention. If Jungkook was truly still in a weakened state, shouldn't the military be providing better care and recovery time? On the other hand, winter survival training is indeed known for its extreme difficulty. It tests not only the physical endurance, but also the mental strength of soldiers under harsh weather conditions. But if it is true that Jungkook nearly collapsed during training, why hasn't there been an official statement from the military or his agency? Could it be that the military doesn't want to reveal the real situation? Or is it simply because the news is not entirely accurate? The role of media in creating dramatic narratives, we can't ignore the fact that BTS-related news always attracts massive attention. Any updates about them, especially concerning their physical health or well-being, are almost guaranteed to go viral. Many media outlets might deliberately exaggerate this story to increase dramatization. They understand that BTS fans deeply care about their idols, making emotional news like this highly engaging. Now, imagine if this news had been blown out of proportion. Is the media intentionally leading the public to believe that Jungkook is in danger? Or is there actually a real incident that has made his BTS members like Jin, V, and Jimin truly concerned? Why are Jin, V, and Jimin involved in this news? One interesting aspect of this report is the mention of Jin, V, and Jimin as being extremely worried. Jin, as the first BTS member to enlist in the military, certainly understands how tough the training can be, particularly in extreme winter conditions. But is there actual evidence that he panicked and took action to protect Jungkook? Did he personally express his concerns, or is this merely an assumption created by the media? The same question applies to V and Jimin. Is there any real proof that they actively tried to find ways to help Jungkook, or is this just speculation added to the story to make it more emotional? Fan reactions, a strategy to keep Jungkook in the spotlight. After this news spread, fans reacted intensely. Social media was flooded with hashtags like #ProtectJungkook, urging the military to pay more attention to his condition. However, this raises another question. Could this be a strategy to keep Jungkook in the public eye? During mandatory military service, idols appear less frequently in the media. Many fans worry that their popularity might fade. If someone wanted to ensure Jungkook remained a trending topic, could this dramatic news have been intentionally exaggerated to keep him in the headlines? Or perhaps some fans unintentionally contributed to amplifying the news without verifying its accuracy? So, should we believe or doubt this news? After analyzing all these aspects, the final question is up to you. Do you believe that Jungkook is truly enduring extreme military training despite not being fully recovered? If true, this is a serious issue that should prompt military officials and his agency to take further action to ensure his health and safety. However, if the news has been exaggerated, then this is a clear example of how the media can manipulate public emotions just to gain attention. Do we live in a digital era where information can easily be twisted, exaggerated, or even fabricated? As fans and readers, we have a responsibility not to believe everything at face value, but instead to seek out credible sources before drawing conclusions. What do you think? After considering all these factors, do you think this news reflects reality? Or is it just a hoax created for sensationalism? Let's discuss and share your thoughts.